Greetings! This series of videos is my attempt to provide as comprehensive guide as possible for the Thieves Guild daily heists in Elder Scrolls. In this series I would explain how to start doing heists, some useful tips and information, and a guide to each of the 5 different layers. I'll provide links in the description below so you can skip through the video if you're looking for help on a particular subject. Heists are daily quests which see your characters entering a number of locations on behalf of the Thieves Guild to acquire items for potential buyers. To access heists, you first need to have purchased the Thieves Guild downloadable content from the Crown Store, or alternatively, have an active ESO Plus subscription. Once unlocked, you need to go to any of the outlaw refuges found in the major cities in Tamriel and speak to an elf called Quen who will start you on the main Thieves Guild questline. Part of this questline will unlock the option to do daily heists from the job board in the Thief's Den under Abbar's Landing. Before we get stuck into actually doing heists, I wanted to share some useful tips that will make your life easier. You don't need to have everything I'm about to show you, but if you find you're struggling to achieve a perfect heist run, some of the following advice may be handy. Firstly, let's take a look at the armour you are wearing. As you'll be spending a lot of your time in stealth, which saps your character's stamina, anything that increases your stamina and/or its stamina regeneration is going to be of benefit. However, there are also a number of armour sets whose bonuses can be put to great use whilst doing heists. There are 4 main sets to consider: Night Mother's Embrace, Night Terror, Shadow Dancer, and Night Silence. Night Terror is an armour set that can be found whilst going around Stormhaven in the Daggerfall Covenant. Whilst the 2-set bonus of increasing maximum stamina is handy, it is the 3-set bonus that makes the set worthwhile, as it reduces the radius that you can be detected while sneaking and also the cost of sneaking itself. Night Mother's Embrace can be found in the Dark Elf lands of Deshan, a part of the Ebonheart Pact. It is very similar to Night Terror, except the bonus to the range you can be detected and the cost of sneaking doesn't come until you have 5 pieces of the set. The Shadow Dancer set drops in the Wood Elf lands of Greenshade, a member of the Old Merry Dominion. With 5 pieces of the set you gain a bonus to stamina recovery and also get to ignore the movement speed penalty that you have while sneaking. As you're against the clock when doing heists, this can be a very useful bonus. The Night Silence set is a craftable set whose 2-set bonuses increase your maximum stamina, and its 5-piece bonus is similar to that of the Shadow Dancer set in that it allows you to ignore the movement speed penalty while sneaking. This is a very easy set to craft, requiring you to unlock only 2 traits per item you wish to craft with it, and the crafting stations for the set can be found in Oradon, Glenumbra and Stonefalls. My personal preference is to use 1 necklace and 2 rings from the Night Terror set by farming the Dark Anchor Dolmens in Stormhaven to acquire the 3-set bonus for reducing detection radius, and coupling that with 5 pieces of crafted medium armour from the Night Silence set to lose the movement penalty that you would otherwise have. This combination I find is more than sufficient for most of my characters to complete each heist, regardless of their race or class. You may also find it handy to bring along some potions, either in the form of craftable invisibility potions via the alchemy crafting station, or even better, rogue escape draft, which can be acquired through completing some of the Thief Guild quests. In terms of food and drink, anything that increases your maximum stamina or your stamina regeneration will be helpful. This all said, I tend to find I can complete the heist without needing any consumables, so these should only really be needed to be considered if you're finding your stamina is dropping too quickly while sneaking, or you need an invisibility potion to get you out of a pickle. If you find you are still struggling after getting a good armour set and some consumables, or you are looking to make your heists easier, then you may wish to consider some of the following skills and tips that may make things go that little bit smoother. Many of the races have skill passives that give bonuses to stamina, however the Bosmer and the Khajiit by far and large have some of the most useful bonuses for doing heists. The Bosmer have 2 skill lines that boost maximum stamina and stamina regeneration, but also have the skill Stealthy. This will reduce your detection radius by a number of meters on top of what your armour set may already be doing. The Khajiit are a close second best and also have access to the same skill types except the boost to maximum stamina. If you're playing a Nightblade class, you also have access to the Shadow Cloak under the Shadow skill tree. This can grant small bursts of invisibility which may prove useful. Meanwhile, if you're playing a vampire, there is a vampiric passive that removes the movement penalty for sneaking whilst in stage 4 vampirism, in a similar manner to the Shadow Dancer and Night Silence armour sets. Amongst the general skills available to all players, the medium armour skill tree gives bonuses to stamina and regeneration via the Windwalker passive, and the improved sneak passive will reduce the cost of sneak and further decrease the radius you can be detected depending on the number of pieces of medium armour you are wearing. Legerdemain, the skill line you unlock and increase by picking pockets and locks and selling stolen items, has the passive Improved Hiding, which will reduce the cost of sneaking. Also, if you have trouble picking locks, putting points in Locksmith will increase your chances of forcing locks open, saving you from having to go through the lock picking mechanic. Perhaps oddly, the Thieves Guild line does not actually offer much in way of benefit to heists. Though Veil of Shadow does reduce the detection range of witnesses to a crime, I do not believe this is actually applicable to NPCs in heists. The final skill that might be of benefit to some players is Rapid Maneuver, which comes from the Alliance War Assault skill line. This can help make your characters move even faster while stealth through a dungeon should you need it. For those of you who have obtained champion level, Mooncalf on the Lover's Tree offers bonus to stamina recovery, whilst the 120 point synergy Windrunner increases your movement speed. Over on the Shadow Tree, Shade reduces the cost of sneaking, whilst the 120 point synergy Shadow Strike makes you briefly invisible after you kill an enemy. Though you try not to kill anyone on heist, should you need to do so, a brief burst of invisibility may be of benefit to some. And in regards to Mundus Stones, free stones may be of benefit to you, especially when coupled with armour carrying the Vines trait. The Steed offers a movement bonus to your character, whilst the Tower and the Serpent increase maximum stamina and regeneration respectively. One last tip before we discuss what's involved in a heist. If your character is not a dedicated thief character, I find it beneficial to keep one of the new chests in one of your homes dedicated to storing your thief armour. You can then swap your normal armour for your thief set just prior to embarking on heists. The setup I am showing here can be done for free, using the free chest that you get for reaching level 18 and one of the free apartments, so this kind of setup does not require any Crown Store purchases. Furthermore, if you have several characters doing heists, this makes it easy for all your characters to share just the one set of thief equipment. You will be sent to one of 5 locations to perform your heist, and later in the series I shall look at each location in more detail. Your primary objective will be to obtain a number of items from inside the heist location and then return back to the entrance. Just getting all the items and returning to the start will finish the quest and grant you a small reward. However, for the best rewards, including a chapter of the Thieves Guild crafting motif, you also need to beat the timer that is taken away with the quest. But be aware, every time you're detected by an NPC, your timer will be reduced by 1 minute, making it even harder to complete the heist in time. This said, if you're familiar with the heist location, you can often afford to have 1 or 2 mistakes and still beat the timer. There are 4 main types of NPCs you'll encounter in a heist. Normal NPCs move around the heist location. They have no special detection ability, so will only spot you if you get too close, but like all NPCs, will attack you if they see you, and will also reduce the time you have to complete the heist. Sentry NPCs project a large blue circle on the ground visible while stealthed, and should you move inside of this circle, you will be forced out of stealth. Trap-laying NPCs will lay flare traps as they move around. Getting too close to these traps for too long will also force your character out of stealth. It should be noted, though, that Sentry and Trap NPCs always follow the same patrol paths as each other, and a heist will only have one or the other type. The final type of NPC is the main boss. This NPC is a very difficult to kill NPC who spawns shortly after you've obtained all your objectives, and will patrol close to the exit of the lair. You do not want to engage this NPC in a fight, especially if you wish to beat the timer, so extra care will be needed to avoid them when returning to the exit. One small tip worth remembering as well when doing heists: for an NPC to detect you, they not only need to be within a certain range to spot you, they also need to have line of sight. This means if you're behind an NPC or there are obstacles blocking their line of sight, you will not be detected even if you are not in stealth. Each heist location has a map that can be brought up with your map button. However, what this map will not show you is that there are a number of hidden rooms and corridors in each of the heist locations. These hidden rooms can often contain the items you're seeking, so keep a careful eye out for the hidden entrances to these locations. And finally, should you find that you've completely mucked up your run and need to begin again, you can abandon the quest and restart it. However, doing this comes with the penalty that the main boss NPC will now be spawned when you start the heist next. I'll be releasing more of these instructional videos for Elder Scrolls in the near future, so if you like what you have seen, don't forget to click the subscribe button. Very shortly I will be releasing a series showing each of the heist locations in detail, so don't forget to check back here soon.